So I don't know whether you've got YouTube open, but if you could just let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, I think it is live now.
There we go. Yeah, we're live. So welcome to Art Alchemy Podcast. We are live Friday morning again.
Yeah,
Um, and we've been busy, haven't we, Debs? We've
been
been,
really busy
it was quite an
in a good
intense
way.
day, wasn't it? Because as you know, if you listen to the last episode, we are putting together a program, really. It's more of a program than a course, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Um,
great.
for Artist Roadmap.
Yeah.
Um, so we were going through the contents of that and just making sure that we're, I suppose, lining up like what we're teaching you in the course and what we want the transformation to be for
And
people.
lining up our ideas as well,
Yeah,
really, because
yeah,
it's getting them together to align.
yeah.
Ruth and I've got different qualities. So we both bring both to the table. So Ruth has got this sort of gentle energy where she's absolutely fabulous. And we're going to talk about coaching today, but she's good at talking people through and finding out what they need, which is fabulous. I'm a little bit more high energy, however much. Even when I try to cool it down, I just get really excited about all the materials. So we bring different things to the table. So I tend to bring the materials knowledge and all that side of it as well, don't I? So it's good having different people,
It is,
different,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, to complement each other and to help people on their way. Because the idea of this is that we want to help people find their artistic voice, build a body of artwork together, and just get that clarity on focus about where they're going. Because it is difficult as an artist, isn't it, Debs? It took me a
Yeah,
long, long time to like really tune into all of that and get clarity on everything because it can be so overwhelming, can't it? Because
it can really overwhelming.
yeah, there is
Yeah,
so much information online, and then you've got a lot of things that might crop up like creative blocks. You've got the opinions of friends and family, and it's a totally different thing being an artist as well, isn't it? Like there's no roadmap to it, which is kind of ironic because we're doing the artist roadmap. I suppose to give people that focus, aren't we, and that clarity?
yeah, what we're actually doing is being an artist is very individual. So, because it's very individual, can I just say, Ruth, before we do this, I can't
Yeah.
see you here. That's
Oh,
what's bothering me. That's why I keep looking down on here.
okay.
I'm not seeing you live on your YouTube channel. Oh, we are. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay.
talking rubbish. Just ignore me. This is what happens when you're live. I found you.
Yay, I'm here.
I feel like we've been doing it for ages, this, and I still don't quite get
You
the,
still you still worry about the tech, don't you? Because we've said before, so always so many things are changing, aren't they? That you worry that
Mm.
something's not going to work. So
So going back to roadmap,
yeah,
um, the way I see it is every person's road to their own art is unique.
yeah,
And so what we wanted to do was provide a course program, like you say, it's not just a course, where people could be guided but in their own way, which
yeah,
means that for each person, we're going to map out a different roadmap
yeah,
because each person has their own process, each person has their own art and what they're interested in. And people are at different parts on their path as well.
yeah,
So it depends where you are. It may be that you've never created a series of work before, you've never created a collection. And so we can sort of get you through that. Or it might be that you're just wanting to provide a cohesive portfolio of work. I think for complete beginners, they could do it,
mhm.
but it's going to be quite they'd have to be enthusiastic really about
Yeah. You
producing their
you need
own.
that you need that ambition, don't you, to achieve the work and really work through what your creative process looks like as well, because that takes a bit of
Mm,
time, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. But doing that right at the beginning isn't a bad thing either.
No, not
If
at all. No, I wish I'd known all of this like 10
yes.
years ago.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking the other day. Actually, I haven't mentioned it to you. I think what we're doing is creating what we would have liked.
That's so true. Yeah, yeah. And all the experience that we've got, all the different courses that we've had to do, all the time that it's taken,
Mm.
restless
And
nights.
it is, yeah. And I think 3 years ago, when I was just finding my art, it sounds a bit silly because I've been obviously painting for years, but I was finding my own much more way of expressing it. Before that, what had happened was everything was in my head.
Yeah,
I knew what I wanted to say. I'd produce something and I'd be like, yeah, but that's not quite what I want to say.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not quite it.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. Sometimes I'd be pleased because it looked like what I wanted to produce, as in like it looked like what was in front of me, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Hmm.
Whereas now I look at the art and I go, not always, but it's never always. But you just go, oh, and it's like you're the first viewer.
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you're producing something that you don't particularly like, you get to the answer easier. Now you know your creative process and what it's missing.
Hmm.
You're very good, I think, Debs, on the like the analytical side when it comes to evaluating artwork and what's kind of missing in the technical side, whether it be like the contrast, the tone, the colours, all that sort of thing. So
I've never thought of myself as good at that, but I do quite like the sciencey side of it. So
yeah,
I like that side of it, the making, because art you can do be as intuitive as you like and produce just intuitive art, but you still have to have some of those fundamentals in order to just get that balance right, to get somebody to make it interesting, to
yeah,
make the piece
yeah.
interesting to somebody who's looking at it
And it's
themselves.
quite hard to do that by yourself, isn't it? I think it takes a lot of practice to be able to do that. So if you've got somebody that can point these things out to you, it's a great kind of structure process to work off, isn't it?
Mm. So we were working on the course yesterday and we were really excited about it. But we thought today, so we sort of, I know that at the beginning of a YouTube video, you meant to say what it's about. But this YouTube video this morning is about the coaching element because a lot of people understand what a course is, and we have doing a whole 12-week program that extends over 6 months because we do realize that you're not going to do all of those paintings within, you need to actually you can make it as big or as small as you like. You can slow it down. Yeah, we've got that element of time sort of factored in. But during this course, we're adding one-to-one coaching. And Ruth is going to be our coach, really. I'm going to get involved on some of the like looking at your collection, your art. I'm going to do some of that side of it, but and that'll be one-to-one too. But Ruth is going to be doing the coaching side. So what is coaching, Ruth? I just
Yeah, well, I should have looked up an official definition, shouldn't I?
yeah.
Um, I think the reason why we added the coaching in is because I think we both realise how powerful it is to have that one-to-one
Mm.
time and that time to reflect and to get feedback. I mean, we do it between us, really, don't we, Debbie? Quite informally, quite often, and I think it's helped both of us. But
But
coach,
we also do go have done coaching ourselves though as
yes,
well. We've gone to
yeah,
coaching. Yeah.
yeah, we've received coaching as well, so we've been through that process. But really, essentially, coaching is it's a one-to-one session. It's a personal space where you can share um, anything really that relates to your art. And because of the nature of art, it quite often spills into our life, and our life spills into our art. So it's given you a safe space to talk about all of this stuff that comes up. It's given you support and encouragement. Um, it's about spotting where your talents lie because quite often we don't
Mm,
see them ourselves because they're like the easy things that we just do and don't think about because you find them easy.
mm,
So it's about that as well. And it's about like giving you a different perspective on things. So have you thought about X, Y, Z?
mm.
And the idea of it is to transform you into a more confident person, a more authentic person within your art. Um, and
And
in,
to highlight, because what happens is you highlight the areas that you need to either focus on,
mm,
or it makes you have more self-awareness of what you're interested in.
yes,
Because having somebody to reflect what tends to happen, and I'm assuming you're going to do this in the way that I've been to coaching, where you'll talk things through about your art, and then what often happens is the coach reflects back
yeah.
and says, and by doing that, you actually start to realize it's almost like listening to your own thoughts as
Mm,
well.
mm, mhm.
A little bit like we do a little bit of journaling and stuff like that as well. And you can do that for yourself in that way, but it's not as powerful as coaching.
No.
Coaching is just, and I think there's an accountability there as well.
Oh, yeah, massively.
Hmm.
There's the accountability, and if you've got the clarity in terms of your direction, where you want to go, it's then about setting some goals for you that stretch you a little bit and move you
Exactly.
forward faster.
Yes.
And
But with somebody to catch you. So
oh,
when you're stretching yourself, it can be a
mm,
really sort of a bit of an uncomfortable place because you're trying new things, which art's always like that. If you're moving forward and you're trying a new series of work, you're always trying. For example, it could be that you really floundering on the materials front, and I'll be there to catch that. Or it's like sometimes you come across blocks
yeah, yeah, very
and
often.
you can't even work out why
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, or work out what the actual block is. So, the work that I've been doing with my art coach, Kerry Hand, she'll even just sometimes pick up on some of the words or the phrasing that I'm using to describe certain things.
Mhm.
And like you were saying before, reflect that back to me, and that's quite revealing. And then we have this conversation where it's like a gentle curiosity into, well, where does that come from? Where does that belief come from? Is that true? Because
Mm,
we all have our own beliefs, don't we? And quite often, with a lot of them that are keeping us stuck, you've said it so many times that you think it's a fact.
mm,
So being able to unpack all of that in a supportive space
mm.
with curiosity and talk about it really helps just, I suppose, dismantle some of those blockers.
It does. And I think I've got a bit of a approaching galleries block and the being visible. And I'm sure there's a little bit of imposter syndrome there because I can't remember. I think it might have been my mum actually. She said to
Mm.
me, she said, "You're the only person that's surprised at how capable you are. You're constantly
Oh.
surprised that you can actually, yes, of course you can do this." Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. That's nice.
When people put it into that context for you, isn't it, that you think twice about these things, about how you're looking at things and how you're approaching things.
Yeah. And I think what happens when you do something like coaching is it's a little bit like when you meditate and you just observe yourself, don't you, a little bit?
Mm. Yeah.
Stand back from it a little bit and think, Oh yeah, actually, I have made quite a lot of paintings now. Maybe I am an artist.
You,
Maybe it's
you
like,
forget, don't you? It's so easy to forget like all of the work you've done and everything that you've achieved. Because naturally the brain goes to a place where like, well, you haven't done this yet. You haven't done you can give yourself a really hard time,
you
can't you?
can. Yeah, absolutely.
And just having
Absolutely.
that space to like pause, stop in coaching, think about what you have done, think about what you've overcome, and give yourself a bit of a pat on the back as well, because we all need that, don't we?
We do, we do. And that's brings us to another thing that we're not going to have, there's going to be a limited number of spaces
Yeah,
because we're doing one to one, because we've got to focus on each of you in a unique way. And so it's going to be a smallish group, isn't it?
yeah,
Really, which is really nice because you'll get to know the others in the group. And then we met in a group
yeah,
and
yeah, we did.
yeah, we've supported each other. I think the more people that the more artists I've been in touch with, the further I've progressed forward.
Yes, because that's another thing that we'll be doing on the artist roadmap, isn't it? Is getting people to share their artwork and get feedback from each other and support from each other. And just
Yeah,
sharing knowledge because, like, when you've got a group of artists together, there's always like a gap in knowledge that someone else will fill, won't they?
exactly, exactly. So we're going to have certain of there'll be things to do each week. Some things will be private because if it's like the coaching or there's certain things that are going to be private, even like if I'm looking at your work,
Mm,
that sort of thing, that will be there will be a private space, but there'll also be you'll be encouraged to share what you're doing and ask any questions in our group space as well.
yeah,
And that will be, you'll have an area that is just roadmap space, but we're also bringing you into the Art Hub. So we're going to bring you into our Art Hub group coaching. And so there'll be, into the larger community as well.
yeah.
So it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. I'm really excited. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's so important to have that support around you. And we've got members in the Art Hub that have been there for, it's coming up to a year now, isn't it? So they've been through their own transformations, haven't they, in terms of creating their own artwork. So it'd be lovely to join people up with that as well.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm just trying to think if anybody's wondering when it's happening mid-September.
Yeah,
So if you are interested, we've got like the wait list, which basically if you put onto the wait list, I mean, it's happening now. It's really to keep you informed of what's going on. So
yeah,
if you're interested, there's no pressure. We're not asking you to sign up or anything, but we'll put something below in our YouTube channels.
yeah, yeah. And then you
So
can
that you can just stay in touch, really.
yeah, and get more information from us. And obviously, if anybody's got any questions about whether the course is right for them or not, feel free to reach out to us directly because we are doing this as a really personal thing, aren't we, Debs? And we want
Yeah,
like people on the
yeah,
course as well. So if
yeah.
we thought that you weren't the right kind of person, if you were looking for something quite different, then we'd be very honest with you, wouldn't we? And we'd
We
say
would. Yeah.
this is not really what we're doing. We more focused on like people finding their artistic voice and building a body of work. It's not to do with kind of the business side of it. We touch a little bit on things like social media, but it's very light touch, isn't it? It's more to do with focusing on your artwork, on you, getting you ready really to whatever direction you end up
Yeah.
going.
And giving you the tools to be able to move forward yourself as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely a lot of the time understanding your own how you work and it's different for each of you. But the creative process, there's an overall creative process that we all go through. But understanding how you fit into that is really good. It's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, and
yeah.
it just gives you like a template and structure, doesn't it, to move forward with.
And if you get stuck.
Yeah.
You won't get stuck
Yeah.
because if you can understand you just don't get stuck because you
You,
go, oh, I'm doing this. And if you're observing, then you go, oh, that's because I've not done enough ideas. So I've got to go back to that
yeah.
part. Or yeah, it's just it it takes away all that stuckness,
Yeah.
which is
It
amazing,
really
really,
accelerates
because
your journey, doesn't it? Because
it does.
both of us previously have been stuck in like a cycle of like, and then you become like frustrated or overwhelmed, and then you bring yourself down, and you can stay in that place for some time, can't you? But if you've got the
Yeah.
tools and you know how to get yourself out of,
Yeah.
then
I'm at a different stage
um,
now where it's not the art that's stopping me, it's the visibleness. But
yeah,
that's a different stage, and that's not what we're doing in this program. So, what we're doing in this program, some people may not want to be professional artists. They just want to be able to produce a cohesive body of work,
hmm.
or they just want to reflect on their what they've done and what they're interested in. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
quite, or you may want to be a professional artist and
Yeah, you may be sort of in a space where you've been doing your artwork for quite some time. You feel like you're quite practiced, but you need that focus and that clarity on your art in the next step. It might
Mm,
be that you're at a place like me where I'm currently exploring a lot of new themes in my artwork,
yes, yes,
and I'm kind of not going back to the drawing board, but just allowing myself to kind of let more in terms of what emotions that I'm feeling in my art. And that's part of the reason why I got an art coach, because I was conscious that I was going through a lot, but I wanted to put that energy back into the art as well and really like
yeah,
tune into myself. And
yeah,
I knew that there was a lot of stuff that I had to work through in order to feel safe to be in that space and to get there. So,
yes.
you,
Because there's been changes in your life,
yeah,
and so sometimes changes in your life will um, change your art as well.
yeah. And it was kind of like I knew that I wanted to do something different, but I wasn't quite sure what that would look like and kind of how to get there. And I needed that support from a coach as well
Mm,
to get there and to support me through that process.
mm. And I've been through coaching. I went as about when I moved from more realism to abstraction, I just didn't know where to start.
Mm.
But I knew I wanted to do it. And I did a couple of courses to help me, but I also got a coach. And one of the first things she did was get me to look at my work and say, what is it? But she was also challenged me on things like composition
Mm,
and thinking outside the box a little,
mm,
which was really good.
yeah,
So that and I did things like just drawings and stuff like that as well, where it was like she said, you've got a lot of vitality and movement and everything in these drawings. You need to get them up onto the canvas, and it
yeah.
just got me. She did really help to get me moving. So something that's interesting as well. You're working on new body of work, and I'm working. I'm almost. I've got ideas, but have only done a little bit. I did think that during this course, I might start doing more on that as well. Because I've
Mm,
got 2 days in the studio in October
yeah,
where I'm opening the studio.
yeah.
And I thought, I don't know how many people are going to be. I might actually find there's a lot of people, but if there isn't, then I'm going to work on that during those
Mm.
times as well, because I think it would be good almost to go through the course ourselves at the same time.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure there's gaps there, like for both of us, for certain.
Yeah, because you're always learning,
Yeah,
always.
yeah,
Yeah.
constantly. It's like
Yes.
I tend to go through the artist's way, a book by Julia Cameron, at least once a year. And there's lots of exercises on that in terms of like creative blocks, and it's very much about mindset and
Mm.
ambitions and stretching your goals. and allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to create. And it's interesting because every year I do it, something different comes up, and there's always
Mm,
something new to
mm,
work through. So,
mm,
as well as like the art technique development, it's also the mindset stuff that's,
mm,
I think, really powerful. I mean, I can honestly say that that book changed my life when I first read it. It
mm,
just allowed me to put some of my hang-ups aside and just really gave me permission to create. So I'm really passionate about that side of it and giving people like the freedom and the permission to be joyful and to be creative and to
mm.
really, like you were saying, it doesn't really matter whether you want to be in galleries or not. The act of
It doesn't matter.
creating
No, it's not the
is
important thing at
enough
all.
of a benefit within itself, isn't it? It just
Mm,
you end up being more authentic, you bring more joy into your life, you've got somewhere to express yourself, you can
mm,
build a community around it. There's so much, isn't there?
mm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You connect to more people, and you connect to the people who you're authentically connecting to, the people that you want
Mhm.
to. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not just about the art, not at
No,
all.
that's huge.
No.
About your
Yeah.
heart, isn't it?
But back to the course, I think that something that people don't do sometimes is give themselves the time to
Mm,
develop. And the idea of a 12-week course, what we're doing is we're going to do, there's 12 modules,
yeah,
but we've given 6 months to actually do it all. So we will, if you want to, you can do it within 12 weeks.
yeah,
But we realize that if you're going to be, you can develop as big a body of work as you like. And that's going to take time because it's not going to be instant. So, so there's like where we start to develop, there's 3 weeks in which we're actually producing work, which you could do in 3 weeks if you were perhaps doing some smaller pieces and you could do it, or you could sort of spread that out and you utilize us over a
yeah,
longer period.
yeah,
And the other thing is things get in the way. But what I was trying to say, which I think I've just gone off the subject slightly, is that by doing a course and structured and the coaching, you will be giving yourself permission to give time to your art because it's something that when we used to go on painting holidays, the biggest thing that came out of the painting holidays was the fact that I've just given myself time for
yeah,
myself, time to paint. I
yeah.
just love it. And that's what this holiday is doing. It's just giving myself that time. And that's what I also think, yes, you're going to move forward tremendously through Roadmap because you are going to, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter if you really know who you are as an artist, you will develop again because
Mm,
that's just how it works.
yeah,
Yeah. But if you're right at the beginning too, it's still for you because being unique, because we're treating
yeah.
you
You're
as
totally,
individuals.
yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's so exciting. You wouldn't believe how excited me and Ruth are.
I think you know, don't you, when something's right, because you just get that feeling, don't you, intuitively that it
Yeah, yeah.
and
We've worked on Art Hub for a year and we haven't had loads of people in Art Hub, but I think that's because we've been working on it. We've
yeah,
been developing it. It's like being part of our process. But
definitely.
it just feels right.
It
It's just
does. And I
amazing.
think what Art Hub's done for us as well is given us the clarity on
Yeah,
why we're doing what we're doing in terms of the tutoring, the community-led work that we do. So it's really helped us clarify our own ambitions and also like how best to take people on that journey because we've done quite a lot of it in Art Hub, haven't we?
we
In
have. Yeah,
smaller
yeah,
bits for
yeah.
people. Uh,
Mm,
and we've seen the bits that we've worked, we've seen the bits that we've needed to change, and it's helped us, hasn't it, to I think become kind of better teachers and better leaders, and to be able to, we couldn't have pulled all this together a year ago
No,
before.
we couldn't. We couldn't do it. And I think because we talked about it right from the start, I think
Yeah,
we've had this idea from quite early on.
definitely. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. So it's
yeah.
exciting now to pull it all together, isn't it? And see,
Yeah.
but
It's like the development of the podcast.
mm,
This now we wouldn't have been able to go live like this.
no way. We well,
No,
we could have, but it wouldn't have been
we'd be going, oh, oh.
nervous.
We still, and there's still a bit in our development of like being able to like talk to you at the same time in on chat. We're not quite there yet. We'll get there. So in
Yeah,
another
well,
year's time, we'll be like pros at
yeah,
podcasts.
yeah.
Yes. So we do enjoy this though. I really enjoy Friday morning.
We do. And it's a good time to remind people if you are watching, just send us a like, even just an emoji, and make sure that you subscribe to us as well, because we go live every Friday on each other's channels, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And the Facebook group that we've got for Art Hub has been building momentum as well, hasn't it? We've
Yes, people are starting to interact a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So if you want to kind of, I suppose, dip your toe in the water a little bit more with us, you can join us on Facebook, and that's completely free community, isn't it, for
Mhm.
people to
It
join?
is. Yeah. We're also going to be doing sort of one-to-one discovery calls as well, perhaps a little bit closer to the time. But if you're really interested in roadmap and you want to express an interest and you want to talk to us, then do get in touch
Yeah,
because we can talk it through with you and see whether it's
yeah,
right.
and see whether it's right for you and talk about what your ambitions are and what you want to do and whether it's the right thing for you.
Mm, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's a few things to put in. We'll put the Facebook group, we'll put the wait list or I think it's almost like an expression of just keep us informed type thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Anything else on coaching?
I suppose just wanted to finish off on some of the transformations that I felt within
Yeah.
coaching in terms of it being a good tool. So we've spoke about some of the benefits, but for me, what I'm feeling now is a lot more confident and a lot more clarity in my artwork. And also, it's also given me a better idea of my positioning within the art world, which is something that's quite tricky.
Mm,
Um, and although we're not doing the businessy side of things within our course, I'll still be touching on where you see yourself in terms of setting goals for the future. So the people on the course are going to finish with some goals for 6 to 12 months' time, aren't they? So they've got things to look forward
yeah.
to. And one of the transformations for me with coaching is I've got a much better idea of what kind of space I want to fit in, what kind of people that I want to talk to, and how I want the impact of my art to be felt. Because it's not just about making money, is it? It's like the intangible
Not at all.
things.
Yeah. We've talked about this where it's like the measure of success. I think we did that, was it last week or the week before?
Yes. Yeah.
um, where we were saying, oh, it was when we did, it was 2 weeks ago, I think, when
Mm,
we did the Van Gogh thing, and we were saying, what is it that is successful? Because for me, I think the thing that's been incredibly successful is I started off as you could say professional, as in I started to like have a business in art in 2016, but it was a very small business. It is a very small business really. But I taught people quite early on. And what I did, well, from 2016, but what I did was I learned as I went.
hmm
And the biggest thing for me that I've got out of all of those years has been my art,
hmm
has been the fact that I now can express myself in the way that I
mm
want to express
mm
myself.
Hmm.
And that is massive.
Hmm.
But I think even by the end of this 12-week, 6 months, let's call it 6 months, um, you will have your own cohesive pieces of art.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be choosing how many, you'll be choosing the sizes,
Yeah.
but you will have art that and you'll get it. There'll be a concept behind it, and that's what you're going to have
Yeah,
from at
you
the
you
end
will
of this.
understand what drives you, which is another benefit of coaching because I've really kind of dug deep into what drives me, what my values are, how to take
Mm.
those values and then
And
express them within your art. And then
yeah,
where does your art fit into the bigger picture in terms of what you're doing? Because there's so many different options, aren't there, with what you can do with your art. You can
mm.
do workshops, you can you
Yeah,
might want to be a professional painter with your own studio. You might
yeah,
be content doing community charity work. You might just
mm-hmm.
want to be doing it for mental health reasons to benefit your health.
Mm-hmm.
But understanding that is huge, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
where you fit in.
Because otherwise you get shiny object syndrome and
Oh
just
yeah,
you're all over the place and you don't actually
you
get
get
cohesion at all.
overwhelmed. You let other people's voices get in the way of what you want.
That's
All of
another
that.
huge thing that you're going to get out of this. This is the hugest thing. I don't really listen to other people in the
No,
same.
no, I don't. No,
No,
not the
you'll end up where
times I
you'll
do.
build
Take
the
good
confidence to
advice.
listen to yourself.
Yeah, yeah. But you know when someone's giving you advice and you think, oh, okay, but that's not really for me. That's not really the direction. That doesn't align to my values. That doesn't feel right. And it's about that intuitive knowing as well as understanding what
Mm,
your values are, where you want to go. So all of that
yeah,
is so powerful,
it
huge.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and we're not. I don't know. I just think that if you're interested, book a call with us because it's
Yeah, keep
probably the best
practicing
way
the
of doing it.
loads. Yeah.
Because this is about uniqueness. This is about individuality. So it's the way to sort of talk it through where you're at, really. It's
Yes.
about you, this is, um, which is really exciting as well. Because I can just, the best thing, other than the fact that I've created my own art. Now, I think even better is seeing other people create their own art.
Mm. Yeah,
And
that's
that's happened. And it's just amazing because you feel like there's been a little bit of you been input into that
yeah.
art. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd love that for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could tell that me and Ruth are excited. Yes. So we'll do a little bit more of what, perhaps next week. I
Yeah.
don't know what we'll talk about next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot to kind of unpack, isn't there, in terms of what we're doing in the artist roadmap. So, but if anyone does have any specific questions that we've not answered on the
Mm.
podcast today, it'd be good to hear from you because it'd be good to know if anybody's kind of wondering anything about the course or what it is that we're doing. So feel
Yeah, and I also love a good question because it does give us something to answer then as well. So that's really good.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just wondering if I just, this live thing, there's meant to be a chat somewhere. I'm just like, oh dear.
Let's see. Should show you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just like, I'd really like to be that person who's like, oh, and I can just see the questions as well as do the chatting.
I bet there's probably something we can do to get it set up on a phone, on an iPad, so we know exactly how to see everything.
There's got to be because you see it all the time.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
But feel free to put your questions in afterwards as well. We'll always pick them up and we always read comments and things like that. So
we
it
do.
won't
Yeah.
be ignored.
Okay. And I think on that note, I think we'll say bye for now.
Yeah, see you next time.